Last question from me.
Yeah.
Who you rooting for the World Cup? Who's your team?
You know what? Yeah, I'm actually rooting for.
You watch ball?
Huh?
You watch ball?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I'm actually rooting for England, but I'm telling you why. Because I'm really rooting for Saka. Like, I genuinely, like, and my friends tell me to let it go, but I just don't even, like, he is, like, the world's little brother. Like, he deserves
He's golden child's from.
Yeah,
he
he
is.
deserves
He
it.
is.
So, like, he deserves success and, like, happiness so much. And I feel like everything they done to him after the Euros was so, like, if I could beat every single one of them up.
Can we talk about...
Where was you on that day?
Where
I
was
was
you on
in
that day?
Shoreditch watching it
You was in
in
Shoreditch?
Blue's Kitchen.
Where was it? East,
Who
isn't
was
it?
in Camden?
No,
Was
it
it
comes
Camden?
in
No, we weren't.
Dalston.
It was
Dalston, sorry,
yeah,
my
it was
bad.
local.
So like I feel like even Rashford and stuff like that, like I just feel like they deserve to do well. Do you know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? Yeah, I was watching this Rio Ferdinand documentary in it on Prime Minute.
He actually lived.
I heard
opposite
about
me.
that
Like
one. I
he
need to
lived
watch that
in
one
the house, like the opposite
word.
me. And he went to my primary school.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Man was talking about obviously the abuse, and it kind of linked in because he started the documentary right before the finals of the Euros. And obviously, his whole series was like a 3-episode.
Did they win an award, that documentary?
It just came out, so I don't
I think
think
it
so.
got nominated for something. Still.
But obviously, he's talking about racism in football. And obviously, most of it is just research and people he's asking and whatnot. And like, yeah, football's not racism; it's the fans and whatnot. And I'm just watching like a review.
No. Football is racist. I'm gonna say it here.
I feel like it's the
fans.
fans.
Not the
It's not
sport,
the
it's the
fans,
fans.
It's not the
guys.
sport. It's not the sport.
Listen, let me tell you
You need
something.
to
A sport
separate
can't be
it.
racist, though.
You need to separate the sport from the fans.
No. You need to think about the institutions that are built in football, and they are racist institutions.
Talk
like
to me.
you can't look at football and just think fans. You have to look at the institutions that like they like. Yeah, they may take like black footballers and like give them like this big paycheck and stuff like that, but they're not teaching them how to like manage that money. They're not like stepping in and saying to these like news outlets like, okay, no, like there's a boundary here. Like they're not in favor of them footballers. So no, football
I think
as
there's two ways to look at it.
as an organisation, you can't just blame it on the fans. Do you know what I mean? Because if they said to like, if they really put in like legal like consequences because of, then it would be a better place. Do you get what I mean? But they make a lot of money from it. They make a lot of money from these black players. And then also you need to think about, you might think about football as the sport, but then you also have to think about the institution and who they're hiring to like to build these organisations. And if you look at the percentage of black people or coloured people that might work in them industries, it's still very problematic. So as a like institutional racism exists in the UK.
Would you say NBA is racist?
The NBA. Probably as well. I mean, I don't know because I'm not live in America, but probably like I think we have to and yeah, humans are racist, but then their racism stems from institutions. Do you get what I mean? Like and like I have white friends and I love them, and like I always say, there's this one lady called Melissa Hawkins, have to shout her out as well, that has given me a lot of my opportunities and has put a lot of money in my pocket, right? However, she still has an advantage over me. Do you know what I mean? Like institutions can be racist, and football as an institution is racist.
If
You can say FIFA or like UEFA or the FA is racist. Can't say football's
I'm only
racist.
talking
That's
about
its
like
institution.
UK, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I don't really know any other football. I mean, like, you couldn't go to Nigeria and say that football is racist because there's only black people. Do you get what I mean? But like, I feel like if you look at like,
it's corrupt. That's what you say.
yeah, it's
That's-
corrupt.
yeah, it's
but if you look
corrupt,
at like,
yeah.
and I don't know any footballers anyway. It doesn't matter. I don't care. But like, if you look
What's
at
his name?
football,
Andy Murray,
what about him?
the footballer.
Do I know him? I don't know him.
Oh, you heard of him?
No, I mean, like, I don't know him personally. Like, I don't.
Oh.
Like, I mean, I don't.
Hey, I couldn't let you do that to him, man. That was bad, man.
He's a
bro.
tennis player.
The thing is, I had the feeling as a tennis player, but I don't know tennis players ever. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, cool. 'Cause I was about to say, I was like, I
Yeah,
can't
no,
have
it's
you
fine.
admitting that he was a football player
Well,
still.
actually, I don't know him. But like, I don't think you can like separate the institution from the like. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Genius, the people, that's what I'm saying. There's two ways to look at it. You can look at it as the sport and you can look at it as the business.
okay, cool. So, would you say schools are racist?
Institutionally, yeah, in this
So,
country.
is football is
no,
like?
but that's what I'm saying.
No,
Like,
but
football,
FIFA-
school is different. Like,
but
for
is
example,
FIFA not an institution?
no, I hate
Yeah, no,
it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
FIFA, you saying FIFA's racist is I can
Like,
agree
for
with that.
example, if
Football in the UK is racist.
No, you
there's-
can't say the
there's
sport
too-
because it's a
it's
sport.
too-
'Cause
There's
still-
too much
you're
things
still-
that go
yeah.
into it.
You
So,
have-
for
if
example,
you're going to say the
yeah,
organisation behind it, that's specific.
Yeah.
You can
is
say
that me
that.
saying music is sexist?
It is. The music industry.
Alright, that was valid.
The music industry.
Okay, so the football industry is racist.
Yeah.
We can
We'll agree on
we'll
that.
submit to that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Because
cool.
in the
But I
day,
agree,
like,
I agree to that as well.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, if we was gonna say football's racist, it's like, well, yes,
It's
of
just
course,
the ball.
the industry
Yeah, exactly.
still generates.
The ball's there.
That 50 Cent meme. The fuck I do? What you say me for?
The industry itself benefits off whatever player that they hire or whatnot, black, white, whatever happens towards them, they don't have nothing to do with
Yeah,
that.
and they gain from a lot
industry,
from
yeah.
it.
But the fact that there's still opportunities for many people from all sorts of backgrounds and wherever
Is
they come
there
from.
really opportunities though? Because I feel like as well, and
They're
I'm
not judging
like,
you off your skin color, like, oh, if you can play ball. It's if you can
They
play
are
ball.
low key.
They are.
They
They-
are.
and
For
once
sure.
again, I'm not a
Yeah.
footballer, but I
Yeah.
always say that. I swear to God, yeah, some of the best footballers come from Peckham. I promise you. But they are not put in the right place or allowed the right opportunity to get to them places. Do you know what I mean?
I hear that,
and I do
yeah.
get it as well. But then you also, sorry, and I'm really passionate about.
I know,
stuff
and I
like
can
this.
feel the-
But like,
I can feel the passion
I
still.
can feel
I feel like that. You also need
like
to think
vibranium.
about like.
High vibrations.
Vibrations.
But you also need to think, and just not even just like you need to think about you need to think about like circumstances, right? Because I feel like football is like skill, but also luck and like circumstances.
Yeah.
So if you are from a single parent household, right, and it's your mum working, trying to look after 4 kids,
Yeah.
and she cannot take you to training X amount of times a week, pick you up X amount, and it can't be dedicated, and there is no support for her to do that, football has failed you. You
Well,
might
we
have
say-
the best.
But you could, but football. Listen, football doesn't owe anyone anything. The sport
100
itself. So, for example, yeah, me and Nick, we grew up playing football. We don't play it professionally, obviously, but if you wanna like chill or we wanna like, you get me, have fun, we're gonna go rent a pitch or
100%.
something.
But he like,
So-
I think there was a point that was made about like they don't pick footballers based on.
Skin color.
Yeah, but there isn't an equal playing
do you know why it's so-
field to access. Like you might think there's an equal playing field to access the sport, but there actually isn't. Do you get what I mean? Like, and even if you look at like the spaces to play football now, a lot of those spaces are gone. There aren't like, I remember growing up and there was like Bethwyn. That or like and literally like that doesn't really
I hear you.
exist
No,
anymore.
I agree with
and then
you.
it's like the funding that like all like fundings that like councils are putting in. So like for example, we do a lot of work in Hackney and like like there's Hackney FC and stuff like that. Like they have a lot of funding from the government, like from their council to give to young people. Like there isn't funding in certain areas that are gonna keep the pitch.
Unless
I don't
it's
know
by
if you
the player
saw what's his
itself.
name, like Ian Wright has done recently, where he's like reopened the football pitch and it's got lights and everything now. It is now left onto.
The players itself.
Do you get what I mean? And that pressure shouldn't also be on them because it's not like the white players aren't feeling that pressure.
I feel I definitely understand her point,
I
especially
agree
with
with it
especially
still,
with
but
like
there's two
with
perspectives.
with Catford Pits. We used to go pits all the
There
time.
can't be two
But then,
perspectives.
No, like,
but we'll go Catford Pits all the time, and then when St Dunstan's bought that area and then now made it theirs, that's for the private kids.
You have-
Who's
you have-
good? You know what I'm
you can't
saying?
even
Like,
play there,
you
innit?
can't even play there. Like
And
before
what
you
does
have to
that
pay.
mean?
But
Sorry.
then my thing is that I
You're
feel
right. It makes us
So I think
not
on
be
sur-
able to
on-
afford to be
on
able to play in these
surface
places.
level-
is this a class thing or is this a race thing though? Because there's still working class white mums and families that's also
But
gonna
it's
have the same
both.
issue.
I think it's
But
both.
it's
No, but do you know why
It's
football?
both.
No, but
You
this
can't.
is
I
the
always
thing.
say, I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't feel like you can separate class and race because, like, it's just
you
they're
can't
too
separate
into like
class and
That's what
Still-
institutionalizes
working
that
class
is
can't-
basically.
Yeah, but if you ratio
Nah, but
it,
if you know
there's
there's
more black-
majority
the black
is you get
outweighs
me.
Like, and
You
it's
know,
like you
we
look
know
at
that,
areas as well. No,
100%.
but then you
Yeah.
have to look at areas that people are growing up in because you can have a white working class person, right? But they could live in Fulham. Would you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and also, do you know what I mean? Or, but you can have, like, for example, if this area is predominantly like black people, and they've now put a pitch for private school people. Why are you doing that? That is a race issue.
jumping that fence.
That's got nothing to do
Yeah,
with
we
class.
jumping that fence
Do you
for
know what I mean?
sure.
Like, it's,
Here goes
like, and I
me.
feel like you can't look at class and race and not think of one another. Like it's
No facts.
it's
Because I get your point. It is
But
class,
the-
but it is
the reason
like,
why-
you know why it's class.
the reason
now. You
why
get me? They're trying to mask
the reason
it.
why football is I find it techie to just like I agree with you, but the reason I have two perspectives is one, I look at it from a sporting perspective. Already in this country, football competition, like the competition for football it's probably the highest in the world. Like to make it as a footballer, percentage wise, as high, it's probably less for people from our demographic because of these hurdles. But just a standard football, that's more time.
100%.
people
And the
will
thing
be-
is, I don't think it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me finish talk.
Cool. So in regards to that,
I love the passion though. We never really had a female guest be
Put in a
passionate
what about football? Woo! That's when she started sitting up. She said, "Okay, let me get busy."
See that boy Saka, yeah?
That's my dog right there.
Yeah, bro. No one touch Saka.
And it's not just sick because obviously you're not in football like that, but you care about the people invested in there.
Yeah.
No,
Also, again, like FK Christian, like he run like him and his brother, like they own like Elite Project Group, which is a football agency, etc. That like a lot of, and it's black owned, and a lot of black footballers are like signed to. So I feel like I know a bit about football because of that, but also as well. Like I get what you're saying. Like I feel like there's not a lot of like there's not a lot of space. Like there's not a lot of you can't like
the competition is too tight.
Yeah, the competition is too high.
The institution for football.
However,
I agree with you.
The competition is high. However, right? Like if you took two families, right? A black family and a white family. White family has both parents. Like you then also need to look at like how the government is supporting like black families, and if there was two working class families, if there was two families on the right same trajectory, it's the white footballer that's probably going to get there first and easier than the black footballer. Do you know what I mean? Like I just feel like it's, I don't know, innit? For me, it just feels like
it's a blurred line.
Yeah, I think there is a blurred line, but I also do feel like as well, like opportunities. You can't dismiss the fact that some people just have better opportunities and direction to football. And it does take a lot of sacrifice from families, right? Like, you need to know that, like, cool, every Sunday, like, I'm going to pick you up from training on a Tuesday, Friday, dad's going to pick you up on Friday, Sunday. But what if you don't have that? What if you can't? Like, what if they can't pick you up? What if they need to work late? Like, what is the, do you get what I mean? What is the...
All right, what's an example of a solution for that? Because for me...
Yeah, I don't work in football.
No, but let's say, for example, you solve that. Now everyone has equal opportunity to football.
You have to. You know, one thing about me, I'm about demolishing institutions. I feel like institutions need to be demolished and rebuilt.
But that's where I feel like most of your passion was coming from. Because when I'm listening to you have this conversation, I'm like, cool, but like, you don't even, like, where's this coming from? But I think it's due to that feeling of like institutions.
Do not favour black people.
And I've always had this steez. Remember when we were talking about police? And I said, listen, bro, the police system is fucked. Like, people trying to get into the police system. Bro, that whole institution's fucked for us anyway. So why are we trying to get in there?
I've got friends that are teachers. That institution is messed up.
Yeah.
Like, you
I share the same view still.
So what's your... Do you think we can demolish it?
I don't know. I don't have enough money to demolish it. But I also do feel like it's that thing of like, for example, you have like black footballers at the moment, and at the very least, we can champion them. Do you know what I mean? Like champion them as much as possible. Like lift them up as much as possible, which I think we do.
But you know what's crazy? And that's what I want to get on this point, because man's champion, no offense, like, listen, I've always said, when you support the England flag, there's a complexity behind it, because it's like that flag means more than just, it's the football team I'm supporting. Because you're also going to be in the same country where there's going to be people on the far right movement who also support that flag too. And there's always, I feel like as black Brits, there's always going to be that complex feeling of like,
identity.
I
mean, first of all, I'm not gonna lie, Nigerian aren't in the World Cup, so I'm a support.
They want to do it.
Yeah, but also I get what you mean.
It's the confliction, because it's like, I was like, remember what Dan Coolio said in the shop? It was like there's moments where it's like, listen, I'm rooting, but then the Euros happen. Then it's like,
you get reminded.
Like, no, 100%. But I feel like you should never, and that's what I'm saying. Like once again, I was born in this country. I think it's a difficult one, because you go back home and they don't really accept you, and then you're here and they don't really accept you. No, so it's like, where do you exist? However, me, I am British, but I am also Nigerian. No one can tell me anything. I have the same passport as you. Like, institutions might not give me the fair opportunity, but roles will reverse. Like, and I feel like we can acknowledge all the struggle that we've been through, because I think it's important. But like, it's going to reverse. Like, I don't think that. Like, I think that there's enough, like, there's like a lot of like black leaders upcoming and coming that are going to provide opportunities for black people. Do you know what I mean? And like, you look at like, I think Stormzy done an interview the other day, the guy with
what he's doing now, crazy.
He's
creating opportunities in football, actually.
Yeah, I can't say what I want to say on camera, but so make sure you crop this part out. Yeah, thanks. But no, I love their team, and I think they're a very, very sick team.
This team's very powerful.
Like Stormzy's team, all women, like a lot of women behind him as well. Just let you guys know, if you ever want to be a rapper and get into music, make sure you hire women. But no, even just that though, like it's like I think he done an interview and it was just like, working class people, other like white working class people, Asian, we're saying all that, but like we're working class, why can't we
you're talking
like,
about
have scholarship? And he was like, no, yeah, I get that and I appreciate that, and like you might be my fan, but this is for black people. And I think that it's getting to a point where you like, if you have a platform and you want to make opportunities just for black people, do it. Do you know what I mean? So like sometimes we say at Tag as well, like, yeah, we're doing this, like we run this program called Iranadjo, and it basically just means journey. And it's for black people. And I don't need to say it's for BAME because I don't believe in that word. Like, you can't group us, we're completely different. It's for black people. It's for young black people. And I will shout it from the roof.
And I think that's important. Because I feel like, based on history, based on like what